Hi, I'm Lawrence.
I'm Nick.
Welcome to the Nick and Lawrence Show.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Our second episode of the new year, and we are rewinding a little bit this episode, and we're going to talk about
Videotapes.
All right. So, is that what they were officially called?
They were called VHS. Well, first...
Well, let's start from the beginning.
Rewind. First thing to come out before... Well, they were videotapes or VHS, however you want to call them. First was Betamax, which kind of preceded, I think, 75 or so, was Betamax. And they looked fairly similar to the standard VHS tape from even more recently, like from 18, 19, 20 years ago.
But Betamax was...
Betamax came out in 75, and then our VHS, which was made by Japan, got established in 76, and then the U.S. got it in 1977, about a year later. But
who made Betamax? Was it like a company?
I think it was a company. My understanding is, I think Betamax was same people. It was another foreign country. It was Japan or China, some place like that had started that. Somehow videotapes and VHS were the main staple. There's like a precursor to videotapes, which was that they got started or invented like in the mid to late 1950s.
Okay.
I guess Wikipedia was stating somewhere between 1956 to 59. Mm-hmm. So it went from like a black and white tape to tape that could have color and stuff. So there was not too far off in the time period of when the tape was transitioning into this invention, especially with kinescopes for live television and stuff. Because TV back in the day was using VHS, but they were always erasing the tapes, so people would take their cameras that had film on them and put them up on a TV screen to get those live film segments for live TV. So as time went on, things got better and improved, and they figured out better ways to do it.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the genesis, and kind of just brought some fun, different tapes over the years. This is probably, in my collection of tapes, I've got this tape I've had for the longest time. This is a Mr. Rogers' What About Love tape. The thing that was cool about these tapes is that they're hard to find. They're hour-long episodes of Mr. Rogers instead of this half-hour show that was on PBS.
So it was made especially for the movie or for the tape?
For the tape. It was, some old clips of make-believe with newer scenes of his TV house. But but this one I have had since 1987. I got this at a Walden's bookstore and have had it for 31. But this was my first VHS, and I've kept it in pretty good shape, except for the tape has kind of gotten, worn out. The tape still plays.
Yeah.
I had to cut this open because it had gotten just a few years ago. It had gotten chewed up in the tape machine, but luckily the tape is still playing, still in good quality. Picture looks good.
Yeah.
As if I had bought it new, but I had to get it fixed. That's why the little tag on the bottom was like that.
You voided the warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I've got Back to the Future 3, and I've got a couple of Disney movies, Fox and the Hound, and just, some really awesome Toy Story, which we showed in our Toy Story 4. This is probably more close to the millennium, because this came out in 99, so...
Yeah, they were making VHS tapes all the way to the early 2000s.
2008, I believe.
Wow. Yeah.
And then in Japan, from what I know, is it was 2016 when they kind of stopped doing it there. But we actually stopped in 2008 because of DVD and Blu-rays and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I find that interesting because Blu-rays have been around. The Blu-ray is kind of like the newer one. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I first got my first Blu-ray, but it was probably at least 12 years ago at least. I remember they started having Blu-rays come out, because I know Avatar came out on Blu-ray, and that movie came out in 2009. and that was 3D Blu-ray. So the technology had been around before that, and DVDs had been around since what, like maybe the late 80s, early 90s. And so it was just like this transition, kind of similar to cassette tapes, that you would listen to music on. It went from cassette to CD. Now it's digital, it's MP3.
Well, it actually went from, and we could go on a long tangent, but it went from records.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Records to 8-track to cassettes to CDs, and now we're in the digital download.
Well, and the same like this, like movies, they went from, we didn't really have any kind of at-home movie things before Betamax, you said, right? That was kind of like
that's the first.
That was the first, and then Betamax. If you've ever seen a Betamax, it's like a little. It was smaller, right? Than a VHS, but it was similar to the VHS. It used cassette tape. It used the magnetic tape.
So I've got a screen cap of Mr. Rogers showing a Betamax. So we might show in here or not. In about 75, 76, when he was wrapping his first run series, he actually had brought a TV into his TV house, and there he was actually showing a Betamax tape for the machine. So instead of using these, I guess back in the 50s and 60s, there were, you'd have film.
Yeah.
And so film was the first.
Well, that's true. You had like your home movies and stuff, and you had the reels that you would put on a projector.
Right.
And
so, I mean, if you go back and look at some Mr. Rogers' Neighborhoods episodes from the early 70s, you'll see him putting like a piece of film in his picture machine. And then in 75, he just had a TV because the tapes were so big that they couldn't really fit in that little square door that he could put the thing in. So he had to use a TV to say, hey, let's look back at these flashbacks of different shows. But that was a short period. But there's a couple of episodes that are out there somewhere on the internet of him using Betamax and stuff. So
so it was kind of like a competition between Betamax and VHS.
Right.
I think it might have been like two companies competing for the dominance in the market, because Betamax lost out obviously to VHS, probably for economic reasons. But then from VHS, they when the DVD first came around, it was competing against the laser discs. Remember laser discs? Those were like that big. You had a laser disc player, and so there was like competition. So the DVD won there, and then when Blu-ray came out, it was competing against HD video. So HD video discs were made by Toshiba, I think, or any other companies. Sony invented Blu-ray basically, so they came out with Blu-ray.
Sony also did the VHS, and before this we were talking about how there was an illegal scandal with commercialized VHS tapes, and by 1983 they were going to court over the whole, could you have movies and stuff in your home that were made by certain companies, and Sony was very much involved with that in the VHS world. And as we were talking about, Mr. Rogers being one of them, actually helped save commercialized VHS tapes. So now, thank Mr. Rogers for actually saving them so we could actually watch our own, we could record shows. That was one thing. And he managed to make it so we could record from our homes, as well as have the stuff you could buy in the stores or go into Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing how long VHS lasted. I know it was a hard transition for a lot of people because they had big collections of VHS, like my family included, and they are converting most of their collection over to DVD. They don't want to go Blu-ray because that's another transition that they'd have to do. So they're doing DVD, but I'm probably similar to you. You've got these videos for like nostalgia and stuff. And some stuff isn't made on DVD or Blu-ray.
Right.
But
well, I mean, we know the Back to the Future 3 is, but
we do.
Well, like these two, what's really interesting is a lot of the Disney stuff. There's a few things, but these two things, people said, "Where can I find this?" And I'm like, "It's not on the internet. It's just I had to go and go to Amazon or eBay just to get the Mr. Rogers one." I mean, this one was the first in their series, and this was like an hour and 6 minutes. Now, the thing that I love about these tapes, compared to the this home recorded tapes that I have here, is that these tapes, like Back to the Future and Mr. Rogers, both have on the side you can see the word hi-fi. And I think that's amazing when you have a hi-fi tape. That I've played these more recently, like in the last couple of months or so, and they're still playing. They're still standing to what they've intended. I mean, you could definitely go and put them on DVD if you feel like it, but there's such a hard time in trying to copy these to DVDs and stuff. But but I'm glad that these have survived and they're not going to disintegrate like people think they're gonna. If you take really good care of your tapes.
Yeah, well, I mean, plastic, right? That's the problem we're having with plastic from the 80s and 70s and 90s is plastic stuff's lasting too long. Like, just for like for environmental things, pollution and shopping bags. They say plastic, if it gets out there, it doesn't degrade for 1,000 years.
Right. I think the thing that I find of interest is if you take good care of your CDs or DVDs or Blu-rays, is you really do have to properly care for them because they can easily get scratched. I mean, it's really hard to go and scratch the plastic strip on the back. I mean, it's very hard to go and scratch. Yeah. I mean, maybe a rewind or a fast forwarding, but with I always get frustrated when my DVDs get scratched and they won't play because they skip because they're out of their case. If you don't put them back in the case, and you've got a damaged disc, and with a VHS, I mean, it may fade or whatnot, but
well, now like everything nowadays is digital, so that's every new Blu-ray or DVD you get comes with a digital version that you can download. So that's something too that you can save, and I like going digital because I don't have to. It helps me be more lazy. I don't have to get up and replace the DVD if I want to watch a new movie. So I'm trying everything that I buy, every new movie or every movie I buy that may be older. I try to get one that has a digital copy also, just so I have the access to it. But
no, all of your digital stuff is not Wi-Fi, is it?
Wi-Fi?
Well, I mean, like you download it and it's permanently on your phone or your TV. And
right now, streaming, you mean?
No, because one of the things I find with streaming is it's just like having a scratched disc where
if you don't have a
fast enough internet, it slows down and it stops. And
well, most of the digital stuff is streaming. Okay. So you get the digital, you get access to the digital version on one of the streaming services. Right. But I also try, when I can, to make a backup copy or download.
Right.
The ones on my computer, because like Apple, iTunes, and Vudu, and Google Play, they allow you to download copies onto your computer or whatever, so you can watch it offline. Right. So I try to do that too. But yeah, everything really I like having a DVD collection or Blu-ray collection because it looks cool. I can fill up my little case over there, but I try to do everything on digital. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I took a movie out from my collection and put it in and watched it. I watch everything online. Yeah. Which is, not the same as it used to be, but
yeah, this tape, that's a recorded tape. I was going to say the one thing that's on here is a trip that I took in 2000 to Universal Studios.
Oh, cool.
So this one has got some TV shows from PBS plus a movie that I kind of put together of me going to Universal when they had the Back to the Future ride and stuff. So it's kind of cool when I have tapes and you have your home movies. Yeah. I mean, I put a lot of stuff to DVD, but every once in a while I just like to get up and put the tape in and play it just for nostalgic. Even if some of my tapes are good. Now Back to the Future is nice because at least the second one, when we showed it on our Back to the Future thing, the first tape that we showed in our Back to the Future actually has a to be continued on it. Now the DVDs and Blu-rays that have come after that VHS release don't have it. They've gone back to the original movie the way it was. But I like having that VHS because it has a special logo that you won't find anyplace else at the end. Yeah. But
that is cool. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like when you get the original copies or when they first came out, you have things on there that in the newer versions, like when they converted to Blu-ray or DVD or digital, sometimes they remove things. Yeah. And so you lose out. Like kids these days who haven't seen the originals, there's stuff that they might be missing. So.
Well, I think the thing is that they get to see in Back to the Future, they will see how it originally looked in the theater. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to get an idea that, after a solo movie, it's gonna get better attention, and they'll
Right.
get 2 more movies
Yeah.
after that, because
Yeah.
when they released the first Back to the Future tape, it was intended to go on to saying, hey, we have another 2 movies that we're going to play and show at the theater. So it was almost like when they did the home video release, it was they put a teaser trailer when Marty and Doc went in, and then the credits roll.
Right. Yeah,
So-
no, that's cool.
But yeah, so there are tapes that I get people asking all the time, you know, how do I find this? How do I find that? And the thing is they become rare, and you just hope that you can find it. Like these Mr. Rogers things, you know, were never released on TV. The only way you could get them is a videotape, and the company has never gone back and said, we will release these 5.
Yeah.
You know, there was like 5 in the series, and you'll never get them again. They were all like hour-long tapes and hour-long movie specials made just for the
Well, I mean,
special edition tapes. That
it's even harder. I mean, you could probably find a lot of things on Amazon or eBay. You might have to pay more for them, but that's like, especially now when there aren't any more DVD or movie stores that sell, you know, the movies, VHS, whatever, DVD, and like in our area, there's a place called Dimple Records, and they just went out of business.
They closed their doors. I think the owners of that just said, we want to do other things. They've been in the business for 40 years, and they just found that it was getting harder for the demand of stuff. I mean, but I think some of the tapes I've picked up. I mean, now this tape here, the Back to the Future 3, actually came from Dimples.
Yeah.
And I got it because at the time they were selling things. I think you could get like tapes for $1.99, even up today. Now, some of these tapes, I was really surprised when I went back looking at tapes like this or Back to the Future, that even in '85, the tapes were $20. So if somebody's still, you know, paying the cost of it, I've still seen every once in a while, I'll see a tape that actually is priced for what it was, you know, 30 plus years ago.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting that somebody, but there are people who are going to price it at 40 or 50 or 75. I know that some people would like to be able, because people don't have the money to pay $100 for tapes.
Yeah, no, you don't want to charge too much for
you don't
stuff. I
want
mean, unless it's like rare. It's something rare. I mean, if it's just, there's not really a market like for a lot of that stuff. So
but with these things, these tapes are now officially over. Especially this tape is over 30. It's like 33. 33. This one's
a lot of these tapes are probably older than our viewers.
This one's 1986.
Yeah.
And that would make it now 33, 34 years.
Yeah, it'll be 34.
34 this year, so it's almost 35. But I just haven't really seen VHS tapes go skyrocketing like I was expecting. I think every once in a while, but there's people who said, well, I'd like to be able to get my hands on it. And for me, $20 is a good price to, even if it was $20 then and it felt expensive then.
Well, that's more expensive $20 back then than it is now.
Right. Well, so $20 to the average person who was buying it, I think a lot of things were cheaper in the 80s.
Exactly.
And the VHS was the highest. It was more than going to McDonald's for whatever someone was in that time frame.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, we could continue like always to keep talking, but to wrap up, I want to show this movie I have.
Okay.
And speaking of, you know, where we get VHS, I have this Blockbuster video. Actually, I'm just kidding. It's a game. So, speaking of nostalgia and, you know, taking it back to like living, we've done a Blockbuster episode, but this is actually a game. It's a board game about, I mean, they went off the nostalgia of Blockbuster, and it's a movie game that talks about movies. It's like a movie trivia game, basically. And I played it once. It's pretty fun. It's just cool because they put it in a VHS tape, you know, case that looks like it came from Blockbuster, like you would go on a Friday night and rent it with your family. And that's, I have some other like actual VHS, but I don't even have my VCR set up, so this is the closest I have.
So is there any trivia or things that, you know, was fascinating? I mean, or is it just pretty much about...
Well, you have to... So the funny thing about this game, and it'll help you get better at movie trivia, but you have to really know movie trivia. because it'll ask. It's kind of like charades where you have to act it out, or you
Okay.
have to like know things about the movie. There's 3 categories. You say one word. If you ever played like a game called Fishbowl, I don't know if it's called anything else, but it's basically where you have multiple rounds where you're trying. It's kind of like charades where you're trying to have your team guess what you are saying. And so, like in this game, you can only use one word on one level to to help people guess what movie it is. And then you can another round is quote. You can use a quote from the movie to help people guess. And then the third one on this is acted out. So it's like charades. So you're trying to act out something from the movie so people can guess what the movie is. So it's pretty fun actually, and it's 4+ players, so you can have a team, pretty good team of players to play that. But yeah, like I said, I played it once. I got it as a white elephant gift, but it was fun. So
Have to figure out where to get it.
yeah, actually, you know what? I saw it at Walmart the other
Okay.
day. So if you want to get one, you can get it at Walmart. Yeah. But anyways, we'll reel it back.
I think we'll have to fast forward.
Yeah, we'll fast forward to the end of this episode, and we'll let you guys go
Yep.
for now. But as always,
Yep. Remember to subscribe, like our all the video content. Remember to subscribe to the bell for notifications on new videos.
Yep.
And
like our social media, Instagram page,
Instagram
and
page.
keep up to date with all the
Yeah.
things that we are posting and talking about.
Yeah.
And as always, leave your comments down in the comment section below.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think of the video, what you think of video VHS in general. Let us know some of your memories of it, or if you maybe don't know anything about what a VHS is.
Yeah.
Maybe you're that young. Let us know. All right,
okay, well, I'm Lawrence,
I'm Nick.
and we'll see you next time.
See ya.